Well, morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the fluff you are. And as you can see, I am surrounded by traction locomotives of different eras and types, from the giant American stuff to the British stuff even. Yes, you're not seeing that wrong. That is a Shinkansen. There is a Shinkansen here, along with what is obviously a roll train of some form. And then we've got Shinkansen, and then we've got some of the future over there as well. So the front of a class 800 series, and something to do with Eurostar over there, Eurotunnel, which I will be checking out in a little while. But we actually have a Shinkansen, and you can see inside, which I will give you a quick pause a second. So before we go into the Shinkansen, I'll just give you a quick overview of what's over on this side. So we've got stuff to do with when they were digging out the Channel Tunnel and stuff, and obviously one of those ones there. Don't worry people, trains and things like that aren't going to become the norm on the channel. It's just for whenever I get a chance. But yes, we're actually in a Shinkansen, or at least the power car of a Shinkansen, which any of you that know the layouts of a lot of British stuff, yeah, we are used to the 3x2 layouts, but this is wide. I mean, there's plenty of space for two people to go through this gap here, so there's tons of space. But I mean, these seats are, it's been sat here for a while and they are quite spongy, but they're nice, they're comfy. You could easily sit on them for about an hour or two and go flying. And obviously we've got the documentary and stuff to do with it all and things, so, but yes, it's crazy. So if you can see through here, yeah, if you was working this, you would be known as the motorman, not the driver, the motorman. It's just insane. Insane we got it. But Shinkansen right next to a giant American thing, which, surprising for its size and how much power that will put out, it still never beats something which is sat over there, which I will give you a big pause for, and we will get over there. Here we go. The one that holds the record even to this day, which I am still surprised no one else took it. Yeah, there's a Royal Power car there, so obviously something, but Mallard. Now everyone should know the story of Mallard, the world's fastest steam locomotive. Clocked at over 125 miles an hour, or 126 miles an hour. I stand corrected. The LNER stands for London North Eastern Railway, which is the side that we're on because we're in York. There is something which would compete against this a little bit further down there, which I will be showing you in a second. But I'm going to give you a quick walk up this ramp. I might be going the wrong way up the ramp, but I'm going up the ramp in a second. And I will give you a peek inside, and you can see what the controls were like inside. Yeah, there's not a lot of space, and that plate there would have been bouncing like Billy-O whilst it's bouncing around. And then you can see the last date it was on Steam, but she would have been bouncing like crazy. So if you want to know more of the story, give it a pause. It is insane. There is so much stuff here that you just would lose track of time and place. And obviously here's a big cutaway of something that would be operating really well. You can see, so your steam will come in there, there's your firebox, all the stuff, your condenser tubes and steam tubes go to there, there's your main, all of there, and then all the components to do with everything to do with that. So it's one very finely pre-dated and worked out. I don't know how you would even work out the position of that. Just with the valve time alone. It is insane. And if I'm going too fast for you, sorry. You do have the pause function. I can't keep recording because my voice is absolutely knackered. So I'm going to just cover as much as I can, as quick as I can. So this is another big old unit. Wow. Some of these older cars and everything are insane. But here she is. The other side of what would have been going for the speed records. Sadly, they never made it on this one. But the Duchess is part of another set of streamliners, which would have been on the LMS, so London, Midland and Scotland, which would have run up the West Coast main line. And by God, these things are amazing. They look gorgeous. Yeah, we've got a Class 84 there, which is an electric unit. Those things are amazing. And obviously we've got more of them over there, so we've got like Rocket and some of the others down there as well. So that was created streamlined in the American style, so you take the record but couldn't quite ever make it. And obviously how some of the older traction was, especially with some of the trucks and things. And then we're getting into the proper things of what you would think of when you think of a steam train. Your smoke box door with everything there. This is just gorgeous. And for a little bit of a that is taller than me. I can comfortably stand with inside this crank box. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Like, just that alone, man. Yeah, this is insane. Again, another floating plate. We've been bouncing around like all heck. It's just insane, man. It's insane. But it's not just rolling traction, it's static traction as well. So there is a big rod arm there, big flywheel on it. Amazing to see that thing going. But no, I'm not doing that. This was an impromptu day out. There's loads of stuff, there's plenty of stuff out here to see where something would have lived for a little while. It's either out or it's either out on run or it's somewhere else. And then obviously, as you can see in the yard, there is obviously other things. The Network Southeast box over there. It's amazing. And some of the original stuff. So anyone that knows anything about the Liverpool to Manchester line, it's reported to be the first passenger line, but there is also the arguments going on with like Stockton to Darlington and things like that. So there is a lot of stuff, and the great man himself, Stevenson, he was right there. Basically, yes, this place would have been a loco works and a steam shed originally. That's why it's all here. That's why they've still got the turntable which has a Class 84 on it. It's insane. Another engine over here. So expansion beam engines. Yeah. There's a winding engine. That's awesome. And we've got Henry, Oakley Henry here. So, Great Northern. I've got another one of the very early steam engines. Very early. Ajnora? Ignora? I don't really know my pronunciation very well. So this is amazing. And obviously we've got Evening Star, which is again what people would think of as your stereotypical style of steam engine. Black 5. So it's an NF. Okay. One of the last types of steam traction created. And then we've got a quick look into the footplate over here, which again, seeing all of this lot in motion would be amazing, especially when you've got like coal tender and everything over there. It's just insane. Just the attention to detail of everything. All the pipe work and everything has its own place. You know, they could have taken a shorter route with some of these pipe work, but they didn't. They have something which actually looks aesthetically pleasing. It's amazing. Yeah, you can tell it was like post-war because it's just in standard drab. Albeit nice to see, would kind of like to be something else. The old British Railways logos, which I missed because the era I grew up with was the bars and arrows. It's just insane seeing some of these things like this. It's been a very long time since I've been down here. So look, even in the latter days of steam, you still use materials that would look good, even for the designs. Maybe this was retrofitted, I don't know, but it's just amazing looking, you know, just the size of just the crank rods. Pure heavy engineering. It's proper down and dirty stuff. Anyone that grew up around the time where people like Fred Dibner and stuff like that was on TV, this would be your bag. This is just heaven to some nerds. It's just amazing stuff. Just amazing stuff. Pause you again for a second whilst we go to the last places, and then we will finish up from there. There's some mini models. It's amazing. So, more stuff. The model railway side, which I'll have a look into in a little while. We never built at Hunslet. Now, but I mean, these things would have seen a lot of action whilst they were constructing anything to do with the Channel Tunnel and all of its components and parts. Which, yes, they even have what would effectively be a bit of like a scale model, mock-up area there of everything. It's just pure insanity how everything is with that. So let's close off, but I'm still going to have a look up anyway. Just to be at this angle in one of these. Now, technically, this would be classified as a TGV. So, any of you that know anything to do with how you would say it in French, I kept getting told off by some of my partners. So it's the, would it be TGV or TGV? Train à grande vitesse. Technically, she's a TGV. It's amazing. And yes, one of Britain's greatest pieces of diesel traction, sitting right there. So sort of have a little bit of an underpath here. Let's go to see some of the undercarriage. For that, that's what the interior of the cab of that could look like. Which, yeah, I can just about get a sneaky peek of that. But just like wow. Yep. Mock-up of a cab of an 800 series. So I'm going to have another little peek over this side. It'll be a bit cheeky. Ooh, yeah, right, so you get a slightly better view here. Not much, a slightly better view. Also I'm right next to this then. But yes. So the reason why originally we went with a French style was because apart from the power car and the mid-set car, you would have your bogie. The main point of your bogie would be about hair on every car. It would be more stable. So technically the same as how the Shinkansens would operate. This is obviously come straight from Great Westerns. To get up close and personal with some of these things is amazing. I mean, yeah, there you go. So if you want to concentrate on any of that, pause. You can read it. I'll zoom in on this bit for you as well. So yeah, there you go. And one of our greatest achievements in this country as well, with diesel traction. Yes, I know things are beating it now, things can go a lot faster, and things can go a lot bigger and a lot heavier, and a lot louder, but these things were amazing. And we are nearing the end of it all. But, ooh, I'm going to class 26, which I didn't realise was here. Because I'd be too busy flapping at you lot. There's all sorts of stuff down here. Anyway. It's very slab fronted. It's very weird. Anyway, I am going to wrap up there. If I have missed anything, I am sorry. If you want to help with the quest to 500, then slam that sub-a-dub. If you have anything to say, stick it down below. If you liked it, give it a like. If you disliked it, then give it a dislike. It all helps the algorithms anyway. It doesn't really matter. So, be good to yourself. The world can be a hateful place sometimes. Don't give yourself any brain ache. It's not worth it. Always practice good mental health. Peace out and goodbye.